Music and fashion are intertwined. I do both. I am Halle Day, and this is my music and fashion project. As you may have picked up in a previous video, I challenged myself to create a fashion collection and show based upon my music, realizing this within a time span of 6 months. I wanted to make a different sound, literally, so I recently had a concept in my mind and created music around it. I'll explain more about that concept later on, but for now I'll just say that that same concept is my starting point for the collection. Okay, then how does it work? Well, let's just say I haven't worked out the details yet. Meet the 3 challenges within this challenge. Challenge number 1, experience. I have never done a project quite like this in my life when it comes to fashion or music. Yes, I went to fashion school and there I was taught skills like designing from concept to actual garment, a little bit of illustration by hand and digital, a little bit of sewing, and a little bit of photography. I created a mini collection for my finals, which you're looking at now. And I had even experienced participating in a fashion show as a designer and model. But since it was a part-time study, an internship was not included. Those who have studied fashion design, styling, or anything fashion knows that an internship can be quite crucial for getting your foot in the fashion industry after your studies. So, with my certificate in the pocket, I decided I wanted to create fashion under my own brand. A project that inspired me a lot, but I have never been the entrepreneurial type, so before I even could begin to try and figure out how to start a business and manage a brand, my life had already caught up on me. Things around me had started to crumble down, my tower was about to fall, which kind of forced me to stop and get my life on track first before I decided to do anything else. I put my fashion ideas on the shelf 1 year after my fashion degree. Now, when it comes to music, my music skills are self-taught. Except for a random singing class or songwriter workshop, I've had no education in singing, songwriting, or producing, and yet I create. I do enjoy singing, songwriting, experimenting on guitar, experimenting on creating songs from scratch on GarageBand or GarageBand, pick your flavor, but the latest thing I've been doing is leveling up. That means that I went from working on an iPad to getting a Mac to work on, and most importantly, getting my music mixed and mastered by a professional for radio and Spotify. Shout out to Teejay Studio! The song that you hear in the background and more prominently in the intro and outro is my own, copyright claimed. And so I put up a website, made a music video, dropped my music on Spotify, and waited for the streams and likes to roll in. Yeah, conclusion, no firm previous experience to build upon. Check. Challenge number 2, networking. The art of networking seems to have been safely archived somewhere in the museum of my skills. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm no wallflower. I easily make contact with people and I know how to hold up a conversation. I don't care about background or status. I care about people and meaningful conversations. It's just that, the same way I make contact easily, I lose those contacts just as easy. Sometimes my social life feels like ships passing through the night. And of course it doesn't help that I'm a part-time introvert. That means I sometimes experience socializing as work. I don't necessarily enjoy the act of finding ways to keep in touch. So I don't. Well, that just puts the work in network out of business. Right. A marginal network in the fashion and music industry it is. Check. Challenge number 3. Budget and time. Fashion costs money. Designing costs money. Location costs money. Event planning costs money. Money. Well, it's not like I don't have any, but as I've learned from my finals, I have quite some expenses to take into account. Not to mention time. I'm going to have to do all of this outside working hours because I do have a 9 to 5 to consider. I work 4 days a week, that leaves 3 days to work on this collection, study for my exams for my new job, do my chores, do my administration, and try and keep up with some form of a social life. Okay, I think I got my point across. I'm working on a tight budget and no time to waste. Low budget, little time. Check. Now, having all of these challenges checked, let's jump right in. Ready? Go! Stereotype,